Hey, I'm McDonald, your real estate agent with Real Property Associates. And today we're gonna talk about preparing your home for sale. And I'm gonna go over some different tips to get your house ready for the market. As a real estate agent, I help people buy houses and I help people sell houses. And so if you're somebody who's thinking about selling your house, or maybe even you're a homeowner and you're just trying to figure out what home improvements make sense, this is a video for you. So let's dive into some of the steps and tactics to preparing your house for the market. Now, I think the guiding principle here and the thing you should keep in the front of your mind is what's going to get my house move-in ready. Most homeowners, when they're looking to put their house on the market, are asking questions of me like, hey, what do I need to do to get my house ready for the market? And my response is generally, we want to do things that are going to get you the most amount of return on your investment. You want to get the highest ROI on those projects. So projects like full kitchen remodel and putting a new roof on your house when it doesn't need a new roof, or doing a master suite addition. There's a lot of different projects that you could do that are going to improve the value of your house. But the point on a home sale, at least the people that I work with, the goal is to get a return on your investment, not to over improve the house. So we're gonna think about what is going to make our house move in ready. So I have a list, and this is a fun little sheet that I use with clients when we meet to walk through the house. I'll take notes on it and give them some general suggestions, maybe more specific to their house, what's gonna help make your house move in ready. But then there's just some guiding principles here. And so I have written down here, clean, neat, and bright. It's gonna help sell your house. So those are kind of other guiding principles, right? You want your house to be clean, you want it to be neat, and you want it to just feel good on the inside. And some of the things on the inside I've written down here, fix or replace damaged flooring, fix drains, leaking faucets, replace burnt out light bulbs. I mean, some of these are like super low hanging fruit, but they make a big difference when somebody's coming into your house. The last thing you want somebody to do when they walk into your house is to start thinking about all the things that are wrong with it, right? You don't want them to walk up to the house and go, oh man, this deck's really beat up and we're gonna need to do that. And they're already starting to have objections in their mind. So if you can remove objections to somebody's purchase, that's gonna be to your benefit. Now, some of the things on the outside, like trim bushes and mow the lawn. Come on, like any of us can do that, or most people can do that. Replaced cracked windows and torn screens, remove weeds and put bark down. I mean, half of these things on my list are landscaping. If you don't want to do it yourself, you can get a landscaper out for $500 and they can spruce up the lawn, spruce up the yard, trim all the bushes and make it look really nice. So we're talking about curb appeal on the outside. What's that first impression someone's gonna get? And then when they come into the house, same thing. What are they gonna feel? What's it gonna feel like when they're walking through the house? So we're going for move-in ready. Now, some of these big projects I mentioned, they're not worth it. You wanna get the most return on your investment, not necessarily the highest dollar amount on the sale. It's like the difference between gross income and net income. You could gross a whole bunch of money, but if you spend a bunch of money to get that money, your net income is not very high. And the same thing with your real estate. Now, another related topic here is the subject of pre-inspections. Now, it's becoming more common for a potential seller, so somebody that I'm meeting with, to ask me my thoughts on getting their home pre-inspected. And I'll share those right now. So we've talked about the importance of getting your house move-in ready, and it's natural to think, okay, well, let's get a pre-inspection, let's have an inspector come out, inspect the house, and we'll just go ahead and make those recommended repairs, and my house is gonna be move-in ready, right? Makes sense. Instead of that though, this is my recommendation. Rather than spending $300 to $500 to get an inspection report and do items, and then all of a sudden have all this disclosure liability. I mean, essentially as a seller, one of your obligations in this process is to fill out a seller disclosure form, and you're disclosing everything that you know about the house and all the negatives, right? And you want to do that because you don't want to be hiding things and secretive. That's not good. When you get an inspection like this though, now you become aware of all these things that maybe aren't really a big deal, but now you're telling people, and now there's this long punch list of items that a potential buyer is now going to be looking at being like, oh, right? So you don't want to be turning people off right away before they've even seen your house and fallen in love with it. Maybe at the beginning it's a turnoff, but once they start to get to love your house, they do their own inspection, right? This is the objection to what I just said. Hey, well, they're gonna do an inspection anyway, you might as well do it ahead of time. But at that point, they're not sold on your house yet. So they're coming to you thinking, all right, now if you haven't taken care of all of the items, now they're coming to you negotiating, well, there's all these things that need to be done, so we're gonna come in at this price. And then they're gonna do their own inspection again, and they're gonna come back and ask you for more. So as a seller, I don't actually think a pre-inspection is the best idea. Now, this is my recommendation. Get the major systems tested. So what I recommend to people is we're gonna get the furnace service. If you haven't had your furnace serviced in a while, you should have your furnace serviced at least every year. Get the furnace serviced, get the filter replaced, right? Clean out the ducts if needed, but get that all into shape, right? Maybe have somebody come out and look at the crawl space and the attic, somebody that specializes in rodent cleanup, insulation, things like that. Then have somebody come out and inspect the plumbing. I mean, you can have contractors come out, they'll do it for free, roofers, right? They're gonna come out, they're gonna look at the roof, they're gonna give you their opinion. Okay, well, it's a 20-year-old house. Man, if it's a 5-year-old house, you're probably not gonna have any issues with the roof, right? But if you got a 15, 20, 25-year-old house, you might be getting towards the end of the life of that roof. Get somebody out there, they're gonna go up there, they're gonna do what's called a roof certification. It might cost you, it might be free. They might get up there and say, this roof's great. They might get up there and say, hey, we gotta make a couple $100 of repairs. And you want to have your roof in good shape anyway. And then they're going to certify it for 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is. Mostly 5-year roof cert is what we're looking for. Now you don't have to worry about that coming up on an inspection. So if we can tackle some of these bigger things that people are going to be asking for, a lot of things you can just see with your eyes, right? Like, oh, the paint needs to be touched up in this spot, or there's cracks in the sidewalks or whatever. I mean, that kind of stuff, some of that's not as big of a deal. But getting those major systems inspected, most people will do that for free because they're hoping that they might get a job out of it. And if it looks good, then great, there's nothing to do. But if there are things that need to be done, those can be taken care of. So if you have rats in your basement, you can find that out for free, and then somebody will give you the quote for fixing that. So you can either take care of it, or we can price accordingly and let people know. So you can still get that information that you're looking for, some of the key information, without having to pay for a $400 or $500 inspection that might be a little bit overkill, right? Just focusing on those main things. And that's really, when somebody's buying a home, what they're looking for is to have the main systems and structure intact. A lot of the little stuff, not really a big deal. Now more than ever, it's really important for you as a homeowner to have your house ready to list, prepping your house ahead of time. 2-3 years ago, you could put your house on the market. 5 or 10 people are gonna come that first day. They're gonna be so excited to buy your house and also, quite frankly, just stressed and thinking, maybe I'm never gonna be able to buy a house if I don't buy this one. Well, you know what? It's changed. And now most houses are taking 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks to sell, sometimes even more, unless your house is one of those just awesome houses on the best street, super move-in ready. People aren't gonna give it the same consideration they're gonna give those other ones. And they're also just not gonna be in as much of a rush. So if you want your house to be the house that people are excited about, it's going to need to be move-in ready. You're gonna need to put a little bit of effort and a little bit of attention to the details, getting the house ready to market and getting it ready to list. So if you have questions about what you need to do in your specific situation to get your home ready to market, I'm happy to be a resource for you. I've got my contact information down below in the description, and I do this all the time. So if you do have questions, I'm gonna be able to give you some good advice and point you in the right direction. Thanks so much for watching this video on how to get your house ready for market. I do videos like this all the time here on my YouTube channel. So if you enjoyed this video and watched it all the way to the end, first of all, please give it a like, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see other videos like this on a regular basis, like my market update that I do on a monthly basis, please subscribe to my channel so that you can see more of the content. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.